Oh man, hold on. Hello. Yeah. Yes. Hi. Good afternoon. Yes. Okay. I will. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to Think Time Theories.
3T blocks.
And for y'all theories out there, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube and also to Spotify, where now you can also watch the video format on Spotify as well.
Very nice.
Yeah, very, very nice. So let's get on to the next.
Yeah, man, what are we going to talk about now? What do we have?
Okay, let me talk about something that is, I would say, close to my heart. My affinity with divers.
Yeah.
Okay, so back in the day, my dad, right? My dad, he was a industrial, was it a commercial diver? It's not a recreational diver. Okay, so if you know, I've told you before, he was also he used to work as a safety officer in Singapore Airlines.
Right.
You know, so his office is here. I'm sorry, he's here. If this is the door, 2 meters away, that's the pool. That's the swimming pool where all the cabin crew does their training and stuff. He was also a lifeguard, right? So I've been diving, right, without a license since I was like 6 years old.
Wow, okay.
And back in the day when we always go to his office on the weekends, right? So sometimes we have like barbecues, back when security was not really that tight. One side of the swimming pool, there's a mock-up cabin of the fuselage, right, of an airplane, right? And then the swimming pool is huge, man. So you have one deep end to the other deep end. Both ends are deep. So
Deep to deep.
so so one day when I went with him, so he gave me, okay, strap this on, So there was a scuba diving tank. And back in the day, there wasn't this thing called BCD, a buoyancy control device,
Right.
for you to control your buoyancy.
Yeah.
So back in the day, it was just a wooden plank or a thick plastic. So it was like really, really uncomfortable.
Okay.
So I just strap it on, and then he told me, just
Go in the water.
go into the water, just breathe. And I freaking enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
And I was that short, and when I wear the tank on my back, the regulator will go up onto the back of my head. So when I dive, you should be looking up, right? When you
Right.
dive
Right.
horizontally, and then you look up. I always hit my head on the
couldn't,
back,
yeah.
so I have to always look down. And I know the swimming pool very, very much. So that's the history, all right. So eventually, when I think, if I'm not mistaken, okay, he bought me my very first dive watch, right? A simple, cheap. I don't even know whether it's water. I think it's water resistant, but
be.
it's a kid's dive watch.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that was when I was 10 years old, right? So eventually it broke, right? And that's how I first get to wear my very first watch on my right hand. People think, I write on my right hand. I'm a right-hander, and I watch and I wear my watch on my
Your right hand.
on my right hand.
Right.
Greg tells me, "What's the matter with you?" When he saw me writing on my right hand with my watch on my right. But I just feel comfortable that way, right? So eventually, I don't have any dive watches, right? Until I have a job in ATC. So in the early 2000,
Right.
so I bought this SBBN 035, the blackout tuna,
Nice.
right? Nothing fancy,
Yeah.
But I have to say why I bought it. First thing first is black, of course.
Blacked out. Blacked out always.
Okay, and it somewhat resemble like the very first diver watch that I had when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know, and I really, really love this watch. I have it for what, maybe like 15, 17 years now.
My goodness.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
And I just brought it for swimming, but I've never actually dived with that watch. The only watch that I dived with was my Frogman, which ironically, among all the Frogmans that I have, that very particular one that I went diving with got spoiled.
Right. Of course.
Of course. You know, you can't expect too much, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So eventually, I think in somewhere in after I got this watch 2 years later, I have my first certification as a recreational diver.
Yeah.
And to celebrate it, here it is. The same watch, but PADI edition.
PADI, yeah.
Because I got certified under PADI.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and you know me, right? My collecting philosophy is freaking. I'm a hoarder, right?
Hoarding.
I always buy one, and I like to buy the same but a different variation.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. There's different type of collector, right? There's people that same like you. They collect like whatever variation of the watch that they love. They have like 10 different Submariners.
Yeah.
They have like maybe 10 different Seamasters, 10 different Tunas. People that have different things like me. I try to get the best example of a watch from as many different brands.
Yeah.
Because I love all different kind of brands,
Yeah.
right? So I try to diversify as much as I can, but everybody has their own kind of like theme, right?
Yeah.
The theme of collecting.
I guess for me, it's a I don't know if I want to call it a sickness, illness, right? But
Some people do call it a sickness.
yeah,
That's for sure.
it's kind of a hoarding side of things because doesn't only apply to watches. No, I have shoes,
Right.
the same shoe, the
You
same
love
model,
something,
but it's the different colors,
different
you know?
variation.
Right?
Yeah.
That goes back from my collecting habits, especially when it comes to sneakers, right? You know, certain sneakers have their value, you know,
Right.
But I'm more of a collecting because if it's comfortable, I like it. I like the design. I like the profile of the
Yes.
of the shoe. I will just start collecting every single color variation, and it goes the same with the my watch collecting so far.
Yeah.
If you guys seen the previous episode, my Frogmans, I have
Right.
a few different Frogmans,
variations.
a few variations, but I don't collect all the other
Right.
models of Frogman because maybe the newer ones I don't really like it because it's just too big, it's not comfortable. But what's most comfortable for me, I will have a tendency to keep on collecting the stuff. Yeah, so these two are my. I
And
would say,
are they
yeah.
both quartz or is one automatic and one quartz?
No, both are quartz, man.
Quartz, okay.
Yeah, both are quartz. But I have to say, I've never serviced them at all.
No.
Not a single time. And both of them, I bought them from Seiya. Seiya, Japan.
yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Seiya, Japan.
It's one of the most popular online watch stores
Yeah.
especially for Japanese made
Yeah,
watches.
for Japanese, yeah.
And they have amazing prices.
Yeah. And if you haven't looked into his website, you should.
Yeah.
You know, there was once, I think he was actually quite sick. He stopped
Really?
dealing with selling his watches, you know. And if you guys want to know, if you have a certain particular model that you want, a Japanese domestic model especially, you can actually reach out to him and then he can source it out for you.
Yeah.
But there was this point of time, I think 1 or 2 years, where I think he was sick and he couldn't do that kind of service for his clients. Yeah.
And those Japanese domestic models, the JDM models, like the Japanese. I mean, now because of the internet, you get access to them, right?
Yeah.
But before the internet,
Whoa, man.
you couldn't. It was hard to get
It's
those watches.
hard.
Man. It
It's
was
hard.
really hard because you see the Japanese, they always keep the best models for their
themselves.
own markets.
Yeah. That's why it's called Japanese domestic
Yeah,
market.
they do the best for themselves, man.
Even for me in Singapore, it's pretty hard to get them. You know, but there are, of course, dealers who actually brought them in as an alternative, and the price is slightly a little bit different, but not that much. But I would guess getting JDM models in the States is like freaking.
It was
rare.
hard, yeah. I remember when I started, man, like it was a little bit difficult to get the JDM models. Now, like I said, with the internet, it's pretty simple because you have these websites like Seiya and a couple of others. You can get the JDM models.
And you have Chrono 24 now.
Chrono 24, yeah. So many options, but man, like even for me, like I told you, I recently got a Grand Seiko. I got a JDM model, and it's amazing. It's so nice.
What is it about JDM that's so much different than the regular model?
That's exactly what I was telling you earlier. It's just the Japanese. They have that tendency. They keep the best for themselves. You know, they do other watches for the rest of the world, and then their own are usually the better designs. The ones that they make in their Japanese factory as opposed to like in a factory somewhere else.
Even the packaging is different.
The packaging is different.
Someone who knows well about JDM is our buddy Calvin. Calvin knows.
Shout out to Calvin, my man.
Shout out to Calvin, man. You are not forgotten, bro.
Yeah.
You are part of the think time theory.
Definitely.
You are the third member, but of course, next time, I have to fly you in, man.
Exactly. We'll come here to Dubai and do some more stuff. He'll come to Dubai and do a seminar.
We should. Yeah. That's my story. I even forgot to.
Those are really cool, man. Like, I love the shroud on these watches. They're like super overbuilt, you know.
Yeah, they are built like thing.
They're like apocalyptic type watches, you know, like the ones that if everything goes to smithereens, this is the watch you want to have on your wrist.
But the only thing that will break is it's not the fixed bars, it's still spring bars.
Right, spring bars, exactly. But I love this shroud design. It's like super cool, man.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
The shroud is and part of it that really attracts me. Yeah. All right, man. Nice. So that's my story about the tunas that is upon the plate right now. Yeah. That one, I really like that one.
And the PADIs, they always have this kind of color, right? Like
the
blue and the red.
Yeah. And
nice.
For all the PADI models, very, very nice. I have to admit myself that I've got cool watches.
Oh, they're very nice.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it for this episode. We have one more episode that we want to record. Yeah, before my typhoon comes back from school and start disturbing us. So thank you very much for tuning in, guys.
All right, guys.
See you later.
We'll see you on the next one.